This is the Convene podcast. Budget cuts, visa headaches, and a 6-week government shutdown in the US proved to be no match for STEM and government meeting planners and one innovative educator who understands the value of conferences. How 3 different meetings outmaneuvered shifting political winds. Written and read by Kate Mulcrone, Digital Managing Editor of Convene.
Last fall, the United States government shut down for nearly 6 weeks because Congress was unable to come to an agreement on 2026 appropriations legislation. This stalemate resulted in the furlough of some 900,000 federal employees and the need for another 700,000 or so to work without pay, according to the nonpartisan Partnership for Public Service. This budgetary gridlock threw yet another wrench into the events industry, specifically for U.S.-based meetings and events scheduled during the shutdown period. As the political impasse dragged on, one event turned its budget upside down to help attendees get to the meeting. Other STEM events have been navigating other challenges outside of the shutdown due to the current U.S. administration's policies over the past year. And then one event created a workaround for visa headaches. And a science educator started an innovative program to give students who were otherwise financially unable to attend a meeting due to these same budget cuts the means to fully experience a STEM conference. Here are those 3 stories. 1. Strategic triangulation. The scientific journal Nature reached out to associations last fall for a pulse check on attendance or anticipated attendance at meetings scheduled in the second half of 2025 and the first half of 2026. As reported in the article, scientists skip key U.S. meetings and seize on smaller alternatives. The story highlighted how NEUR-IPS, this is a major AI conference that was hosted in San Diego in November 2025, added its first ever alternative location to accommodate anyone who was unable or unwilling to travel to the U.S. The NEUR-IPS conference is organized by the nonprofit Neural Information Processing Systems Foundation, and the decision to host a multi-site meeting was made in light of challenges attendees could face in traveling to the U.S. As announced on NEUR-IPS's website last July, for the first time in 2025, NEUR-IPS will host a second official physical location for the conference. The conference will be held at the San Diego Convention Center and in Mexico City. This pilot program of a second official location will allow us to continue supporting exchange and communication across the field of AI research while responding to skyrocketing attendance and difficulties in obtaining travel visas some attendees have experienced in the past few years when only one location was available. So NEUR-IPS 2025 had a bicameral organizational structure with 2 general chairs dedicated to the U.S. meeting and one for Mexico. They posted parallel schedules for San Diego and Mexico City events on the website, and then giving attendees the option to travel to Mexico City instead of the U.S. alleviated the headache of getting a visa and clearing customs in the U.S., not to mention the, as then unknown, impact of furloughs and layoffs on air travel within the U.S. in November 2025. At the same time that NEUR-IPS was held in both locations, a group of European AI researchers hosted EUR-IPS. This is an independent spin-off conference in Copenhagen. Our main focus was on giving a home to people who felt intellectually homeless this year, Søren Hauberg, a researcher at the Technical University of Denmark in Lyngby and EUR-IPS organizer, told Nature. 2. Finding the funding. Last October 13th through 15th, the Association of the United States Army, AUSA, held its annual convention, the Association of the United States Army Annual Meeting and Exposition, at Washington, D.C.'s Walter E. Washington Convention Center. The unfortunate timing of the event meant that many attendees and potential attendees would not be receiving their regular paychecks. Veterans benefits and military operations were also defunded during the shutdown, creating additional barriers. On October 1st, the day the shutdown began, AUSA issued a press release. If the government shutdown continues, the annual meeting will proceed as planned, and AUSA will continue telling the Army story and bringing together key stakeholders and partners who are invested in the Army and its transformation for the future. As an educational nonprofit dedicated to supporting and advocating for America's Army and a strong national defense, we are focused on our mission to support the Army. In order to ensure that enlisted service members would have the budget to attend the 2025 meeting, AUSA's board of directors got a little creative. The AUSA provided a donation of over $1 million to cover the travel, lodging, and food expenses for active duty soldiers and senior leaders to attend the conference. The Army is focused on taking care of the mission, even with everything that's going on. Retired Lieutenant General Leslie Smith, Vice President for Leadership and Education for AUSA, told WUSA 9 News. It's important we have the time to educate, inform, and connect. That's what AUSA is all about. The meeting proceeded as planned, with military leaders, industry professionals, policymakers, service members, and international delegates all on hand to celebrate the Army's 250th birthday. Teaching the value of conferences. To counteract the effect of federal cuts in funding for institutions of higher learning, students' conference attendance was down, and so last fall, New Jersey's Rutgers University Camden launched a new 3-credit experiential learning course that uses tuition revenue to cover students' registration fees and travel costs to participate in a STEM conference. The undergraduate course has been designed to help students understand firsthand how they can benefit from attending scientific conferences. Kwang-Won Lee, a professor of biology, created the curriculum to introduce students to conference expectations, presentation skills, and proposal preparation. The course was open to all STEM undergraduate students who are currently conducting research under the supervision of a faculty mentor. For many years, I was able to take undergraduate researchers to national conferences with federal grants, but that funding was cut unexpectedly earlier this year, Lee told Rutgers University Camden's news service. Knowing how transformative these experiences are for our students, I wanted to keep the opportunity accessible, especially for students who would not otherwise be able to afford it. The first cohort of 10 students traveled to NDI STEM, a multidisciplinary and multicultural annual STEM conference that was held in Columbus, Ohio, last October. Students had the chance to meet peers from diverse backgrounds, hear from outstanding scientists, see the breadth of work happening across STEM fields, and learn about a wide range of STEM career paths available to them, Lee said. One of the biology students, junior Tiffany Chan, told the university news service that removing the financial constraints enabled her to focus on preparing her research for submission to the conference. This is just the kind of experience that you can never get from just the classroom alone, said Myo Sanziar Hyun Ayung, a senior in the class. As a first-generation student with limited opportunities, I felt this course was like an open door to something I'd always hoped to experience, but never imagined I could access so early in my academic journey.
Remember to subscribe to the Convene podcast on your favorite listening platform to stay updated with our latest episodes. For further industry insights from the Convene team, head over to pcma.org/convene. My name is Maggie. Stay inspired, keep inspiring, and until next time.